have an announcement. Dad, I need $300.
That's a lot of money, Hilary. What for?
I need a new hat.
In The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, we're introduced to two main feminine archetypes. So both of them display the archetype of being a maiden, but one is a little bit more mature, whereas the other is a little bit more sweet and young and juvenile. Today, we're going to talk about Hilary. We're going to talk about the essence of the young maiden that is not quite the sage. So the woman that is well-read, the woman that is more mature, the woman that's the mother, the woman that is undeniably respect, but then also not quite the maiden, so the one that is very young and juvenile. We're going to talk about Ashley now. We're going to talk about Hilary, because Hilary is a master of getting princess treatment without having to do too much. It's natural for her, it's a lifestyle, and there's a lot to learn from her characteristic habits, traits, and essence and way of being.
Why you want to major in that?
Because I'm good at it.
Right, so characteristic number one, Hilary has unshakable confidence. Right, I'm just going to show you this scene, right? And in this scene, it clearly defines that Hilary does not depend on anyone else to be confident. She doesn't need anyone to tell her that she's beautiful. She doesn't need anyone to compliment her. She already knows her worth. That's incredibly powerful, because I think that's what makes it so easy for her to ask for what she wants and ultimately get what she wants. Because she's so confident and self-assured in her value as a person and as a woman, a feminine woman in specific, well, it's easy for her to ask for it because, well, I'm beautiful and I am Hilary and I am the top of the crop, so why can't I ask for daddy's $300? It's honestly a power move. It's inspiring, and I think a lot more people should be just as audacious when it comes to having unshakable confidence, because that unshakable confidence will lead you to asking things that might feel audacious but actually isn't. Because why can't you ask for it if you're worth it? And you know you're worth it when you have unshakable confidence. So that's the pillar of what makes Hilary Hilary. Because she's so self-assured, she's able to manifest anything that she wants easily. And because she's so self-assured, right, the next characteristic to being a princess and to getting princess treatment is to set high standards and not accept less. Hilary will not settle for anything less than what her father gifted her. And her father gifted her decadence. Her father showed her a lifestyle that is unmatched, right? And to be honest with you, imagine how far we would get, right, if we decided and if we actually were audacious enough to ask for what we want and then refuse to get anything less than that. Like, it's so powerful. She knows how to set high standards and to not move from them. And that's why her life is like so unreal, because she doesn't budge. She doesn't think, oh, why can't I have this? No, she just sets the high standard and expects nothing less. And that's why she gets it, because she's audacious enough to ask. And next characteristic or criteria for being a fresh princess of Bel-Air is to always look well taken care of. And by that I mean she's never seen, she's never seen without her hair beautifully done, her makeup gorgeous, and she's always wearing luxury garments. She's almost excessively accessorized, which is a clear display of her wealth and her ability to afford, all these hats and necklaces and earrings. But ultimately, even though you don't necessarily have to be as, I would say, as overly adorned as her, because that's a lot of accessories, Hilary, you do need to look well taken care of. There is not a scene where you see Hilary not done up. She always looks stunning. So the next step is to, whatever this means for you, you need to look refined. You need to look well taken care of. And in Hilary's case, it's like accessories, it's hats, it's everything. You don't have to do everything, but you do have to look well taken care of. It's a non-negotiable. The next characteristic kind of goes back to setting high standards and having unshakable confidence, but it's to be unafraid to ask for what you want. So to be audacious, because again, I'm just going to reiterate because this is so important, but because she's so audacious with what she asks for. When you ask for something, it actually opens up an opportunity to get it. But if you don't ask, there's no opportunity there. Like, what do they say? You miss all the shots that you don't take. The same rule applies here. So be audacious, just like Hilary. It will get you far. Oh, another thing that princesses of Bel-Air ever mastered is that they're spoiled and they know it and everyone knows it, but they have zero shame about it. Like they almost expect, you know, being treated well. They expect princess treatment. They expect nothing less, and ultimately they get it. And I think part of the reason why they get it is because they have no shame about it. They only accept people in their lives that accept that and respect that. And the pitfall to that, the pitfall to, like, I would say all of being a princess of Bel-Air is that a lot of times, because you're so beautiful, because you invest so much time in your beauty, people can reduce you to just your looks. People can see you as conceited. Oftentimes they think that you're not intelligent because you invest so much time in your appearance and in your femininity. Hilary, in a lot of the cases, is the laughing end of the joke. And even in the show, like the way that she's written, it's clear that a lot of people underestimate her and don't take her seriously. So these are like major things to consider, is that when you're in the process of demanding nothing less than princess treatment and stepping into your divine femininity, a lot of people will have things to say. A lot of people will try to shame you, and a lot of people will not take you seriously or make you the laughing end of the joke. But ultimately, as much as they shame you, you still get what you want. Ultimately, you're still being treated like a princess. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you need to have zero shame and to not let the way in which people like try to shame you stop you from getting all the benefits that come from embodying your divine feminine, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of people will try to laugh, but at the end of the day, there's so much power in being as feminine and as princess natured as Hilary is. There's so much power in it. Tell me a day where she didn't get what she wants. You will not find it. But a lot of people, they'll try and convince you to be otherwise because they're afraid of the power that you have when you adopt, you know, that deep sense of feminine. Oh, I could get into this, but let's move forward. There are pitfalls, 100%, but it will all be worth it. Oh, and the most important thing for being a princess and being treated as such is that you have to be articulate. So, you know, people, they'll try to take the piss. They'll try to say that Hilary isn't smart and that she's conceited. And she definitely is ditzy. She definitely has her moments of like, okay, that was a silly thing that you just said right there. But the way in which she talks, the vocabulary that she uses, like, she's clearly very smart. She's clearly articulate enough to use very big words. And even though, like, she's written as a character that, she's written as a ditzy character, ultimately, she is so articulate. She speaks like a rich girl. And I think the most important thing for embodying the rich princess sister archetype is 1000% mastering your ability to speak in a way that is affluent, to speak in a way that is articulate, to speak proper, to enunciate all of your words. Is so important. Like, I think one thing that her character very clearly shows is that the greatest sign of affluence or the greatest sign of wealth is being articulate. It's undeniable. Hilary doesn't swear. Hilary doesn't say, what, the man's not hot. Or Hilary doesn't say, wagwan pifting. No, never. Because she is from the upper echelons. She is elegant. She has this air of generational wealth. Do you get what I'm saying? Being deemed as a rich princess is all about being able to speak proper. Honestly, I'm so passionate about the way in which people talk I think that the words that you use, the way that you articulate your ideas is very important, because it's a presentation of yourself. It's a presentation of your mind, you know? So the way in which you articulate your thoughts and your ideas, it's unmatched. If you want to be a rich princess, you have to talk properly. I'm so sorry, you do. That's the end of the video today. Take care.